Can you talk to us a little bit about, you get cast and then you go to the source material, you go to read Paper Girls. Talk a little bit about how reading it and the reaction that you had and realizing you were going to bring this story to the live screen and a bigger audience.
That was the first thing. Upon reading the comics, I'm sure Cameron and Sophia touched on how we didn't know that the comics existed before auditioning, but I immediately just fell in love with the color palette. Matt Wilson's design and how the purples aren't quite bright purple and then the pinks aren't bubblegum pink. It's just like this very specific tone that we definitely tried to replicate on the show as well. And how the show has a very unique genre and vibe to it, the same way that the comics feel so special. And it was just a pleasure to bring it to life. And from the moment I read it, I knew it was something that would be really great to be a part of.
Yeah, I think very similar to Fina. I knew from the get-go that this was something that was going to be very special, as it touches upon topics that aren't really shown in media nowadays. And especially that female empowerment, it's a true portrayal to how it actually is. Like, the girls don't have just one personality trait; they have depth to them. It feels very real, and how girls actually are.
Now, you two, without too much spoiler, you guys get this moment where you get to interact with yourselves at some point. Did you guys have a sit down? How did you prep to kind of bounce off each other to be alike? Because you guys are so much on point with your older versions. It's weird.
Well, for the older version of myself, Delia, she actually went to school with my sister, and they were in a playwriting class together. And in this class, they wrote plays about their families and then would put them on. And so my sister wrote this play that had me in it, and then Delia played me before I met her. So it was not Delia's first time playing the oldest version of myself. And I didn't know that when she was cast, and I later found out from my sister, and I was mind blown just by how small a world it really is. And Delia does a great job. And take it away.
Yeah, so I think the really cool part about Erin's character is that at the beginning she has these high expectations for herself. She wants to work in the White House. She wants to have 4 freaking kids. And then, so I think for us as an audience, and also for Erin's character, it's really a surprise to see how she turns out, as she starts out to be so confident as who she's going to be. Sorry, I thought you were staring at me. So she's really slapped in the face with with reality, and it was really cool to be able to play off. Looking at me like that. I'm just looking at you. Being able to play off of Ali Wong, and we just had a great time crafting this character and to see a clear dynamic of growing up.
Yeah, I asked Sophia and Cameron, and they said it was a bit surreal. It's their first Comic-Con. They're signing posters. They're on a big panel. They're doing press. How's it been for you two? How's the weekend been?
It's just like that. Everything's moving so fast, but it's also, we're just having the time of our lives. I feel like Comic-Con has just been something that we've prepared so long for. Well, it feels like everything that we've done has lived up to this moment, so it definitely does feel very surreal.
This time last year, Comic-Con was a big what if for us. It was like, that's our peak if we make it. And so to be here is absolutely insane, to see everybody dressed up and to notice that there are people who actually care about hearing what they have to say. It's great, and we're so grateful for the support, and we just could not feel happier, just seeing how much people have come out to hype us up a bit.
It's very humbling.
So many people.
Excited to have the show actually released, because in a way you're going to be role models for a lot of young girls. Like, my daughter's 10. Other than the language, a little bit, I can't wait for her to see these strong females on the screen.
Yeah, a lot of of women would come up to us on set and say that they wish they had a show like this when they were younger, because it's a story that puts girls at a forefront, and it doesn't shove girl power in your face. It just has women living human experiences that aren't a plot device and aren't a sex symbol, aren't something that is just completely one-dimensional. And so I really hope that the rising generation will see these girls and think of them as heroes. And then also for the women who are now older, I hope they'll watch the show and get what they haven't yet, and get to see something that hasn't been told before.
100%. Like this show, the core of the show is definitely the characters and the female empowerment, but really the show is for everyone. I think if people can find a little bit of themselves, and not just one, but all of the characters. And something that I took away from the show, and what I hope other people can take away from it, is that it's okay to not always have it figured out, no matter how old you are, and no matter who you are or what you think you're going to be. You're fully capable of taking your fate into your own hands. It's just important to live in the moment, to just be.